She was fearless, funny, and one of the toughest women to ever wrestle a gator on camera. Fans knew her as Pickle Wheat, the spirited young hunter who quickly became the heart of swamp people. But behind the smiles and swamp battles, something was brewing. Rumors began to swirl that Pickle had suddenly quit the show. No warning, no goodbye, just silence. Fans were left stunned. Was it burnout, a secret feud, or something much more personal? Now, after months of speculation, Troy Landry, the king of the swamp himself, has finally broken his silence. And what he revealed about Pickle Wheat isn't what anyone expected. But first, who exactly is Troy Landry? Born on June 9, 1961, in the small Louisiana town of Pierre Part, Troy Landry grew up surrounded by water and wildlife in the heart of the Atchafalaya Basin, the largest swamp in America. His family had lived there for generations, surviving as hunters, trappers, shrimpers, and moss sellers. Raised by his parents, Duffy and Myrtle Landry, alongside his brother Bubba, Troy learned early how to read the water, track animals, and face danger head-on. Life in the swamp wasn't easy. Floods, storms, and scorching heat tested everyone's endurance, but the Landrys were built for it. By his teens, Troy was already hunting alligators. It was dangerous work, but for him it was a way of life. The family used gator meat for food and sold the rest to make ends meet. When he wasn't hunting, Troy trapped, shrimped, repaired boats, and did whatever the swamp demanded. Long before fame ever found him. The swamp taught Troy patience and grit. There were no easy days. You worked hard or you didn't eat. He grew up speaking Cajun French, like most families in the area, living off the land and wasting nothing. Life at home was simple. The Landrys repaired what they had, used second-hand furniture, and valued effort over comfort. Outside Louisiana, few had ever heard of Troy back then. He was just a hard-working local who helped his neighbors and raised his family the same way his parents raised him. Even as a young man, people respected him for his honesty and dedication. Before swamp people ever came along, Troy Landry was already known in his community, a humble son of the swamp who never planned on fame, just a life built on work, family, and tradition. Troy Landry never set out to become a television star. He was simply doing what he'd always done, hunting gators and living off the swamp. Everything changed in the late 2000s when the History Channel began developing a show about real alligator hunters. Out of nearly 5,000 hunters across Louisiana, Troy and his family were chosen. He hadn't sought the spotlight, but when the cameras arrived, he was ready. When Swamp People premiered on August 22, 2010, Troy instantly stood out. Viewers were drawn to his calm voice, steady confidence, and fearless approach to danger. He spoke from the heart and moved with purpose, a true man of the swamp. Each season, Troy, alongside his sons Jacob and Chase, faced Louisiana's 30-day alligator season, a brief, high-stakes window where every tag mattered. There was no room for error. One wrong move could flip a boat or let a gator strike first. It was brutal, demanding work. And Troy made it look effortless. Troy Landry had hunted gators his entire life, but doing it in front of cameras brought a new kind of pressure. At first, he worried that swamp people would exaggerate swamp life, showing only the blood, danger, and chaos. That wasn't what he wanted. Troy hoped the show would capture the real heart of the hunt, the teamwork, the family bond, and the respect for the land. Thankfully, the History Channel found that balance. They showed the danger, yes, but also the laughter, the quiet meals on the boat, and the long days spent teaching his sons the old ways. Viewers quickly realized that for Troy, this wasn't just hunting. It was a way of life. Season after season, Troy became the face of swamp people. Fans called him the king of the swamp. His catchphrases went viral, and his shirts appeared in stores across the country. By 2018, he joked that people treated him like a movie star, even though, deep down, he was still just a small-town gator hunter. Behind the fame, the work never got easier. Every tag meant risk. Storms, snakes, and shifting waters tested his strength and patience. Season 16, which aired in early 2025, proved especially brutal. The Gulf heat fueled violent storms, and Hurricane Francine tore through the swamps, wrecking boats and cutting lines. With 2 new vessels and 800 tags to fill, Troy faced one of his hardest seasons yet. Still, he showed up, calm, determined, and steady as ever. "There is no such thing as an easy day out here," he said. With his sons and crew by his side, he pushed through the chaos, chasing gators through deep water and narrow channels. There were close calls, but they never stopped, because for Troy Landry, giving up was never an option. Fame opened doors for Troy Landry, but it also brought new weight. Everything changed in 2010 when Swamp People first aired on the History Channel, giving viewers a front-row seat to the danger and tradition of alligator hunting. With his calm voice and steady hands, Troy quickly became known as the king of the swamp. Before the show, his life was simple. 30 days of hard, risky hunting each year, where every tag and every gator mattered. But once fame hit, demand for alligator meat soared, and the pressure grew. What had once been a tough but steady living became an exhausting race to keep up. Troy often said people now treat him like a movie star. Everywhere he went, fans stopped him for photos or stories, all while he juggled filming schedules, interviews, and family life. He worried that the show might turn their work into spectacle, focusing only on the danger. To his relief, the History Channel captured more than blood and drama. They showed the heart, the family, and the culture behind the hunt. Still, even with success, the pressure never went away. For Troy Landry, the mission never changed. Fill every tag before the deadline. That meant long days, brutal heat, and constant danger. One wrong move could flip a boat or cost a life. There was never room for mistakes in the swamp. By season 16 in early 2025, the challenges were tougher than ever. Rising Gulf temperatures fueled powerful storms like Hurricane Francine, which wrecked boats and flooded camps. Even with 2 new ships and 800 tags to fill, Troy faced some of the hardest days of his career. "There's no easy day in the swamp," he often says. "Every year brings something new to fight." Through weather, equipment failures, and poachers, Troy kept pushing, season after season. When the cameras stop rolling, the weight doesn't go away. For Troy, Swamp People isn't just a show. It's a promise to his family, his roots, and the land that made him. No matter how hard it gets, he always shows up. Troy Landry has faced storms, floods, and massive gators, but in 2022, he faced something far more personal: prostate cancer. The diagnosis stunned everyone who knew him. Troy had always seemed unshakable, strong, calm, and in control. But this battle tested not just his body, but his spirit. At first, he kept it private, sharing the news only with close family and friends. Even during treatment, he kept working and leading his crew, refusing to let the illness define him. In June that year, he finally told fans on Facebook with his trademark honesty, "No more prostate." After surgery, he thanked his doctors and supporters. No drama, just gratitude and strength. The operation was a success, and Troy soon began his recovery. Though doctors advised rest, he couldn't stay away from the swamp. It was where he found peace and purpose. His wife, Bonita, stood by him through it all, as she had since their marriage in 1981. Their bond, built over 4 decades, helped carry him through. His sons, Jacob and Chase, kept Swamp People running while fans from around the world sent prayers and encouragement. Troy never gave in to fear. He faced cancer like every other challenge, with quiet courage and faith. By the time season 16 aired, he was back on the water. His body bore the scars of the fight, but his spirit was stronger than ever. Every gator he caught was proof that he had survived something far more powerful than the swamp. To millions, Troy Landry is the king of the swamp. But at home, he's simply a devoted husband. For more than 40 years, he's shared his life with Bonita Landry, the woman who's been his anchor since long before TV crews ever arrived in Pierre Park, Louisiana. They met as young adults in their small Cajun hometown, and love came naturally. On September 26, 1981, they married and began building a life rooted in hard work, patience, and care. Before meeting Troy, Bonita had a son named Brandon from a previous marriage. When she and Troy wed, he lovingly raised Brandon as his own, proving that for him, family was about loyalty, not blood. Bonita also had her own career before joining Troy's world. She worked as a school teacher and later as a bank teller, known for her steady nature and compassion. When Swamp People took off, she became a publicist for the History Channel, staying close to Troy's growing fame while keeping their family grounded. Their life together remains simple and genuine. Their home isn't filled with luxury, but with warmth, thrifted furniture, and memories. Despite fame, Troy and Bonita never changed who they are: humble, hard-working, and devoted to each other above all else. In interviews, Troy often calls Bonita his rock, the calm presence who keeps everything steady when life gets chaotic and the cameras are rolling. Their bond runs deeper than work or routine. It's built on quiet moments, mutual respect, and a lifetime of showing up for each other. Their marriage isn't about grand gestures. It's about loyalty, faith, and the strength to weather every storm together. Both were raised in hard-working Cajun families, and that upbringing shaped their values: faith, family, and perseverance. Together they raised 3 sons: Jacob, Chase, and Brandon. Jacob and Chase, their biological sons, followed in Troy's footsteps and became fan favorites on Swamp People. Jacob, the eldest, is calm and reliable, a natural leader who keeps things under control on the water. Chase, born in 1989, brings fiery energy and fearless determination to every hunt. On screen, Jacob and Chase Landry often hunt side by side, a partnership built from years of shared experience. Since childhood, they've worked alongside their father, repairing boats, hauling gators, and learning every skill needed to survive the swamp. Their bond runs deeper than blood. It's built on hard work, heat, and trust. Each season, they face the 30-day gator hunting window, a time filled with danger, exhaustion, and pressure. But the swamp is in their veins, and walking away has never been an option. Jacob, the older brother, often takes the lead, serving as boat captain and helping behind the scenes with Swamp People. His calm nature and deep knowledge of Pierre Park's waters make him a steady force. Chase is more adventurous, bold, fiery, and unafraid to take risks. He's explored life outside the swamp through music and travel, but he always finds his way home. Fans love their differences: Jacob's quiet strength and Chase's fearless spirit. Together they carry on Troy's legacy, keeping Swamp People authentic and alive. Recently, rumors spread online about the death of a man named Brandon Landry, causing confusion among fans who feared it was Bonita's son. Thankfully, it was later confirmed to be someone else entirely, a reminder of just how deeply connected viewers feel to the Landry family. Troy Landry has faced nearly everything the swamp could throw at him: gators, floods, storms, even his own health battles. But in late 2024, the threat came from somewhere unexpected: the law. That September, agents from the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries cited him for breaking tagging rules. They claimed he used tags from Iberville Parish while hunting on Lake Pelord in St. Mary Parish, and a released dead gator raised further questions. Each violation carried fines up to $950 and possible jail time, a serious blow to a man who'd built his name on honesty and hard work. Troy stayed silent when the story broke, refusing to comment as speculation spread. Some wondered if it was a simple mistake, while others suspected jealousy or increased scrutiny from being in the spotlight. Things worsened when officials seized his boat and motor, vital tools for his livelihood. To Troy, the swamp isn't just a workplace, it's his life. Facing hearings in late 2024 and early 2025, he tried to stay focused on what he's always done best, honoring the land, his roots, and the code of the swamp, even as the world watched closely. A bond beyond blood. Pickle Wheat. Cheyenne. Pickle Wheat wasn't born into the Landry family, but she earned her place through hard work and heart. Over time, she became more than just a Swamp People castmate. She became family. Troy Landry, who rarely gives that title easily, once said, "Pickle is like the daughter I never had." When she first joined the show, some doubted she could handle the brutal world of gator hunting, but Pickle quickly proved them wrong. Fearless, patient, and deeply respectful of the swamp, she earned Troy's trust early on. "That girl can handle herself," he said proudly. "She's not just strong, she's smart." Then came a moment no one expected. In season 16, fans watched Pickle marry her longtime partner, Joshua Kippus, an EMT who shares her love for the outdoors, with Troy himself officiating the ceremony. It was simple, emotional, and perfectly fitting for a woman whose life has always been tied to the swamp. It was a side of Troy fans rarely saw. During the ceremony, he said, "Pickle is like family. I've watched her grow, and I know she's got a good heart. She picked a good man, and I'm proud to stand here." The moment touched viewers everywhere. Many said they cried watching it, while others joked that Troy looked more nervous at the wedding than when wrangling a 10-foot gator. Laughing, he admitted, "It's easier pulling a gator into the boat than saying the right words at a wedding." Pickle later shared, "Troy means a lot to me. He's not just a co-worker, he's family." Even after her marriage, she never planned to leave the swamp. "It's part of who I am," she said. Troy agreed. "She'll be back. That girl's got the swamp in her blood. In a world where people come and go, their connection stands out. A reminder that family isn't always about blood, but about loyalty, love, and showing up when it matters most." What really happened to Pickle Wheat? When rumors began swirling that Pickle Wheat had abruptly quit Swamp People, fans were left confused and concerned. Was it a publicity stunt, or had something serious happened behind the scenes? As speculation grew, many began asking the same question. What really happened to Pickle Wheat from Swamp People? Born Cheyenne Wheat on September 21, 1995, in Poydras, Louisiana, Pickle grew up surrounded by swamps and gators. Her family had been in the alligator business for generations, and her father, Eddie Wheat, taught her the trade from the moment she could walk. By the time she was a teenager, she was already a skilled gator hunter with a deep respect for the land and the creatures she worked with. When she joined Swamp People, Pickle quickly became a fan favorite, admired for her courage, humor, and down-to-earth attitude. Despite her rising fame, she stayed humble and focused on her work. But fans also noticed her growing closeness to co-star Chase Landry. Photos and posts hinted at a romance, but the relationship seemed to quietly fade when their social media activity suddenly disappeared. Soon after, whispers began that Pickle had quit the show. The rumors intensified when news broke about Troy Landry's health battle. Some believed the show was ending altogether. Thankfully, those fears were short-lived. Troy survived prostate cancer surgery, and Swamp People continued filming. As for Pickle, she didn't quit. She simply stepped away to focus on her personal life. Since leaving the show, Pickle has stayed active and happy. She continues hunting in Pierre Part, shares updates with fans online, and even sells her own merchandise. In March 2023, she confirmed the biggest news of all. She was expecting a baby with her partner, Joshua Kippus, an EMT who shares her love for the outdoors. While it's uncertain if Pickle will return to Swamp People, one thing is clear. Her love for the swamp runs deep. She's still out there doing what she loves, living life with grit, laughter, and that same fearless spirit that first won over millions of fans. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed it and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when the next video drops. See you next time.